You know, when I first landed in Australia, I wasn't chasing danger, I was chasing silence. After years of noise, city lights, crowds, my own restless thoughts, I wanted to hear what the world sounded like when it stopped talking back. That's why I came here. That's why I bought that old, beaten up van from a guy in Darwin for $800. He said it had character, which turned out to mean it barely had brakes. But I didn't care. I wanted to see the kind of land that swallows sound, where the wind speaks louder than people do. My name's Eli Morgan, and if you're hearing this, well, I'm still trying to understand what happened out there. I'd been traveling for about 5 months already. Thailand, Laos, Indonesia, all the usual backpacker trails. Cheap beer, hostels that smelled like wet socks, friendships that burned bright and vanished in a week. But the Outback felt different. It wasn't a place you visited, it was a place that took you in, and you had to earn your way out. Alice Springs was my last stop before the red world began. I remember sitting in a small cafe there, dust already collecting on my boots, when I met a man named Walter. Old, leathery skin, hands like sandpaper, the kind of guy who'd seen the desert chew people up and spit them out. He asked me where I was headed. I told him, west, maybe Uluru, maybe further. He nodded slowly. Then he said, if the Outback starts talking to you, don't talk back. I laughed, but he didn't. He just looked out the window, eyes fixed on something far beyond the horizon. That sentence stayed with me. Even now, it still does. The first 3 days were pure magic. The road unrolled before me like a red ribbon, my van rattling over it like a tin toy. I stopped wherever I felt like stopping, took photos, filmed little pieces for my vlog, a channel I'd started mostly to prove to my friends back home that I wasn't running away. The nights were colder than I expected. The stars were so sharp they looked like holes in the sky. I'd sit by the campfire, cook noodles, talk to myself, to the desert, to the camera. Freedom, I kept saying. This is what it feels like. But even freedom, I learned, comes with silence too deep to handle. By day 4, the GPS started acting strange. The compass too. I thought maybe the heat messed with the electronics. Then the flies disappeared. That's the weird thing, there are always flies in the Outback, but suddenly there were none. No birds either, the air just stopped. That night, I saw it for the first time. A light, small, slow, and low to the ground. It wasn't a star, it wasn't a car, it moved like it had a purpose. I walked a few steps toward it, and it vanished, just like that. I remember laughing nervously, saying to the camera, "You're seeing things, Eli." But deep down, something in me shifted. It felt like the desert had noticed me. The next morning, I realized I had no idea where I was. The road, the one I'd been following, was gone. The tire tracks had vanished overnight, erased by the wind. My GPS was frozen on the same screen, no signal, and the compass. It spun slowly, like it had forgotten which way was north. Still, I wasn't scared. Not yet. I had food, water, fuel. I had logic. But the desert doesn't care about logic. By noon, I was sweating through my shirt. The horizon shimmered like liquid metal. I started seeing shapes that weren't there, rocks that looked like people, clouds that looked like roads. At one point, I thought I saw a man standing near a cluster of rocks, waving. I shouted, waved back, even ran a few meters, but when I got there, there was no one, just sand, just heat. By late afternoon, the van gave up. The engine coughed twice and fell silent, like it decided the journey was over. I turned the key again and again, nothing. The silence that followed was so heavy it pressed on my chest. I remember saying, "Okay, we'll rest here tonight. Figure it out tomorrow." I tried to sound calm, even to myself. That night, the fire wouldn't light. The wood I gathered burned weakly, then died, as if the air didn't want flame. That's when I heard it for the first time. My name, not loud, not whispered either. Just enough to make my skin crawl. Eli. I turned. No one. I thought maybe the wind. Maybe exhaustion. Maybe the heat. But the desert doesn't sound like a human voice. And this one did. Morning brought no relief. My water was running low. My mind kept looping one thought. Walk east, find the road. After an hour of walking, I saw footprints, not mine. They were deeper, wider, like from heavy boots. I followed them for what felt like miles until they stopped abruptly, right in the middle of nowhere. No scuffle, no turn, no indication of direction, just gone. That's when I realized whoever made those prints didn't stop. They vanished. I tried to film it, but my camera battery had died. Still, I remember talking out loud. "You're fine, Eli. Just tired. Just keep walking." But the more I walked, the more the land began to shift. Ridges where there had been flat earth, shadows that moved the wrong way. And once, I swear to you, I saw the same dry tree twice, hours apart, like I'd looped around in a circle that didn't make sense. By the time the sun fell that evening, my thoughts were melting into one another. You don't really think out there, the desert thinks for you. It tells you what to remember, what to forget. I walked until the sky turned purple, and then I saw it again, that same light. Closer this time, flickering, hovering low, almost like it was waiting for me. I yelled, "Who's out there?" The light didn't move. I took a step forward, then another. It stayed still until I blinked. And then it was behind me. My chest froze. I turned, but there was nothing, just open sand, the dying sun, and a sound like breathing in the wind. I ran back to the van, tripping over rocks, skin burning. When I reached it, something felt off. My sleeping bag was unrolled. The passenger door was open. I know I'd shut it. I know I had. Inside, the air smelled wrong, like metal. Like something had been there that didn't belong. That night, I didn't sleep. I just sat with my back against the van, staring into the dark until the stars blurred. Morning came, and for the first time, I saw smoke on the horizon. Faint, white, curling up into the sky. Hope. That's what it looked like. I started walking toward it, slow at first, then faster. After an hour, I saw a small shack, tin walls, a water tank, a rusted truck. Someone lived there, or had. I shouted, "Hello, anyone here?" A man stepped out. Thin, tanned, eyes like cracked glass. He looked at me for a long moment, then said, "You shouldn't be here." I told him I was lost, that my van had broken down. He nodded, slow, like he'd heard that 100 times before. "There's a road east of here," he said, "but you won't find it walking." I asked him what he meant, but he turned away, staring toward the horizon. "There are places," he said quietly, "where the desert remembers people, and it doesn't let them go." He gave me water, the best thing I'd ever tasted, and told me to rest a while. When I woke up, the sun was lower. The shack was empty, no man, no water bottle. Just footprints leading out into the sand, and stopping 20 meters later. I tried to stay calm. I told myself I'd imagined him. Maybe heat stroke, maybe exhaustion. But when night came, the air went completely still. No crickets, no wind, not even the hum of the desert. And then, from nowhere, a voice, right next to me, "Eli, go back." I turned, flashlight shaking in my hand. No one, but the sand beside me, had footprints, fresh ones. I followed them until my flashlight died. And then, far ahead, that same light flickered again, soft, blue, pulsing like a heartbeat. I wanted to stop looking at it. I couldn't. Every step I took, it drew back, slow, like it was teasing me. When I finally gave up and looked down, the sand was full of prints. Dozens of them all around me. And not just mine. That was the first time I screamed. At dawn, I stumbled upon something I thought was a hallucination, a weather station, half buried in the sand. Rusting antennas, a metal tower. A door that creaked open like it hadn't been touched in years. Inside, the air was stale. I found a desk covered in dust, a broken radio, and a small metal box filled with old photos. All of them showed travelers different years, different faces, but all standing in the same spot. The same dry creek bed where I'd camped my first night. And on the back of each photo, the same words written in fading ink. They came to see the light. I felt my stomach twist. I didn't know what the light was, but it had been here long before me. When I tried the radio, it crackled once, and a voice whispered through the static, "Don't stay until night." I ran. I didn't even know which direction anymore. The sun felt like fire on my skin. My tongue swelled, my eyes burned. But somehow, I could still hear the radio's static in my head, even after I dropped it. By day 7, I stopped counting time. Every rock looked familiar. Every hill repeated itself. It was like the land was looping, folding in on itself, keeping me inside. That night, the light came again. This time, closer than ever. It wasn't one light, it was many, hundreds, thousands, moving in slow waves, like a silent ocean made of stars. And between them, shapes, human almost, but wrong. They didn't walk, they shifted. I dropped to my knees, whispering to myself, "You're alive, Eli. Just breathe. Just keep breathing." The next morning, I woke up under a rock ledge, same as before. Except this time, there were no tracks, no van. No camera, just sand. They say a farmer found me 2 weeks later, half dead, near an old fence line, 30 miles from where I'd been. I remember flashes, hands pulling me up, the smell of diesel, the taste of water. In the hospital, they said dehydration, hallucinations. I nodded. I let them write their reports, but I know what I saw. When they found my van, the footage was gone. The police said the desert took it, but the final clip from my camera was recovered, only one frame survived. A single still image of the night sky. And in the distance, that same blue light. It's been 3 years. Sometimes I wake up at night and taste dust in my mouth. Sometimes I hear static even when no device is on. And sometimes, when I drive through small towns and see a distant glow over the hills, my heart stops for just a second. Because I know it's waiting, out there, somewhere. Maybe I'll never know what that light was. Maybe it was the desert, alive, ancient, tired of being alone. Maybe it was madness, but this road taught me something. Sometimes, the line between being lost and being found is as thin as a breath. If this story stirred something in you, subscribe. Because there are more roads like this. More voices in the dust, more stories that never made it back. Real people, real road stories. And at the next stop, I'll be waiting for you. They say I was lucky to survive, but luck doesn't explain why I still wake up with sand under my nails. After the hospital, I stayed in Alice Springs for a few weeks. I'd sit outside the small hostel on Todd Street, watching the tourists come and go, their skin pink from the sun, their laughter echoing like they were immune to the desert's pull. I tried to be like them, to smile, to move on. But some nights, when the air went still, I'd swear I could hear the hum again, that low, electric murmur just beneath the sound of the world. The doctors said it was trauma. Your brains were playing things, they told me. Maybe they were right. But when I touched the scar on my neck, the small, circular mark I didn't have before, I wasn't so sure. 2 months later, I got a call from the local police station. They'd found something. A hiker, 40 miles north of where I was rescued, discovered a half-buried camera bag. Inside, a few cracked memory cards and a roll of film. The officer asked if it was mine. It was. When they developed the film, most of it was overexposed, just blurs of red, white, and static. But one frame was clear. It showed me, sleeping by my van, firelight flickering on my face. But the photo had been taken from about 10 meters away, from the dark. And I was alone that night. A month after that, a journalist from Sydney reached out. He'd heard about the backpacker who vanished and returned. He wanted an interview. I said no. He sent me a photo anyway, something he'd found in an old newspaper archive from 1982. It was a black and white image of a group of travelers standing near a dry creek bed, smiling at the camera. Behind them, in the far corner of the photo, was that same faint blue light. The caption read, "Last photo taken before the group disappeared, believed lost in a sandstorm." The location, same coordinates as where my van was found. I tried to forget again, took a job washing dishes in a diner. Avoided the news, avoided people, avoided the desert. But it doesn't matter how far you go, once the Outback marks you, it knows where you are. One night, as I was walking home, a car slowed beside me. An old pickup, windows down, headlights dim. The driver leaned out. Older man, dusty hat. He said, "Mate, you shouldn't have left it unfinished." I froze. His face was half in shadow, but there was something about his eyes. I'd seen them before. Before I could say a word, he drove off. No license plate, no sound. When I turned around, the street behind me was empty, except for a faint shimmer in the distance, like heat rising from asphalt. I lasted another 6 months before I gave in. I told myself I needed closure. That if I went back just once, I could finally let it go. I rented a Jeep, packed water, and drove west. Same road, same silence. The GPS lost signal at the same point as before. But this time, I didn't panic, I listened. And then I heard it, the hum, soft, rhythmic, like a heartbeat inside the earth. When I reached the creek bed, it was like time had folded back. My tire tracks were still faintly there, as if no wine had touched them. And there, standing where I had once seen that first light, was a figure, a man, still, silent, facing me. I took a step closer, he took one too. Same height, same jacket, same scar on the neck. It was me. I don't remember what happened next. I woke up in my motel room 2 days later, clothes covered in red dust. No car outside, no memory of the drive back. I checked my phone, one new video in my gallery. No title, just a timestamp. When I played it, it showed the desert at night. The camera was on the ground, pointed at the sky. For a full minute, nothing, just wind. Then a voice, my own, whispering, "It's not done." I've stopped trying to explain it. Maybe the light is real. Maybe it's a hallucination. Maybe the Outback is just a mirror, showing you the parts of yourself you've buried too deep to face. But I do know this. Somewhere out there, in the endless Red Sea of sand, there's a place where time folds in on itself. Where travelers go missing not because they're lost, but because something finds them first. If you ever find yourself driving through the Outback, and you see a blue flicker on the horizon, don't follow it, turn around, because once it notices you, you're already part of its story. And if this story stayed with you, if it made your heart beat a little faster, then stay with me. There are more stories waiting. More roads that never end, real people, real road stories. And at the next stop, I'll be waiting for you.